Got myself Chris, join Coach Marcus. And we're doing this live today. So
We
welcome
are
in.
in a live mode right now.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yo, happy Valentine's Day to you, brother. If they didn't give you no flowers, I give you props. To all the guys here right now listening in on the studio or watching us live, happy Valentine's Day to you guys. Chris, can you still hear me?
You're kind of pinging it back and forth. I hope that's not how it is on the live part. Let me check.
I hope not too, man, because what I'm beginning to see right here is that it's not coming up. I hope not too, man, because
Hmm. The Riverside will be clear, but I think the live's going to be because like you're already fuzzing out.
what a trip
It's just the internet
already.
connection. I believe it's the internet connection on that side.
Yeah, I'm on my Wi-Fi, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But we'll see what happens. We had that issue last time. Um, we can jump in real quick. 10 minutes. We should have probably done that real quick before we went this thing. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So let's see what we got in the chat here. All right. I do not see nothing on the chat so far. So far so good. I guess what we're going to get into is just Valentine's Day, and we're just wanted to do a quick little kickoff, just see how this live goes. I got it going to three different platforms. So we're on the Conversation with the Mafia podcast page on Facebook. We're on the YouTube page, and we're on my personal Facebook page. So we got three lives going out at once, and it looks like we are connected. I can see the chat. So as people come in, I'll be able to watch. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on your side, but see how it pops up on the bottom of the screen. But it
Yeah, I don't see that, but you got it. So you can just relay the questions to me from there. So we'll jump into this. So I kind of had a couple of things that we wanted to talk about, like here's, Valentine's Day again, and the pressure hits, you better have some flowers, you better have made reservations. And, we're at the end of Valentine's Day today, so jewelry, and you better make sure you take some pictures and post it on social media because this is the pressure that hits men, big gestures. And if you're a man and you don't deliver, ooh, these women they'll go in on you, right? Um, you're not romantic. But, let me ask you something. When's the last time a man felt celebrated on Valentine's? When's the last time that a man has got the gifts and all the other things that come along with it? But here in the West, society has conditioned men to be the ones that are the givers on Valentine's Day. But the last time I checked, I thought love was mutual.
now see,
It's supposed to be back and forth.
I think a lot of the guys that that the guys in relationships, I always get the same feedback from them that how do you say it? This is just another day. You know what I mean? They show the love all through the year, and this is just another day just to go out and kind of get a quick date night in and whatnot. But my friends that aren't in relationships, this is like a big production for them, and like with everything you just said,
Yeah, it's a
like if they don't
performance.
perform, yeah, I mean, like the report card will go out on the next post the next day, and you know, uh, dudes are breaking themselves trying to make it happen. But what nobody talks about out loud is this right here is when do we set the tone? Or see, for me, I've never really been a materialistic person, so like it's hard for me because I know they deserve it. I just To me, it's just like, you could buy the flowers, but they're gonna die. I could buy you flowers the day after and save half the money, or I could just buy them for you the day before and just be ahead of the game. But like for me, this is just like another Christmas for me because it's all like the meaning of it is gone. It's just material and commercialized for me.
Yeah, I get that, man. But most men are expected, like from especially from the dating point, and even some of these dudes that have been in marriage for a long time. You know, they have to pay for everything, have to impress. And if he doesn't do it, you're labeled careless. Like, yo, you really don't show your love to this person. But here's the deep layer: a lot of men grew up being taught your value is what you provide, and we see so much of that on Valentine's Day. Oh, it's another scoreboard, like we just said. But I like to question some of that thing. How connected are we? How much are we connected by how much we spend? Like you said, the materialistic part behind it. How creative was you? Like, oh, he took me to the mountains and he did this and he did that, or he rented a hotel and there was flowers all over the floor and stuff like that. Where's that back and forth to the men? And like I said, the conditions that men have to meet in order to turn around and justify their love. I like what you said about that one point where it was like it's just another day. You should be expressing your love and everything else throughout the whole year. It shouldn't just come down to one day. So even if I miss this day, it shouldn't really take away my validation of everything I've done all year. And I think that the West has conditioned it that way. That you look at it, a man can work 50, 60 hours a week, he can pay all the bills, he shows up consistently. But February 14th comes around, and that could be one of the most hardest days that he's judged. Because the girls will even go back to work on Monday or whatever and be like, "What you get? What you get? You didn't get nothing. What?" And the first thing that should be coming at him is like, "Yeah, it was just another day, but my man takes out the whole year, but I take care of him too."
And see, for
And
us,
I
like,
don't feel it's fair that. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say for us today, we did something yesterday. We went to a little concert. You know what I mean? A little string quartet concert. Had dinner at home, and then today we focused on serving the community versus to each other. You know what I mean? Like we broke it down that way. But I think what it comes back to is where you at as far as your stance in your relationship. Because if you're with if you haven't set that boundary, or I don't even want to call it a boundary because it's not a boundary, but having that conversation and that understanding. Because I have another friend of mine that they just don't believe in this day period. You know what I mean? Like, why waste the money? Just you know, that we could go out to eat, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, the performance is done, but I think a lot of the younger cats. You know what I mean? The younger cats are breaking themselves today, and then they're gonna go home mad because none of it worked out in their way or their plan, or it wasn't good enough production. And you know what I'm saying?
I do. I get that, man. I really do. You know, but I guess what I'm trying to drive at this point with Valentine's Day, why is it a day marked as make her feel special, but it's not about making him feel special? Why do we see it just one sided? It truly has been that way for a while, but there's a lot of men that, like you said, like this is just another day. We just share it with one another. But for all the men out there that are feeling that type of pressure right now, and you're here listening to this live, get into the comments, because I'll be honest with you. I don't need no flowers. I don't need no teddy bear. I don't need none of that stuff. But what I do really need more from anything, and this isn't just on Valentine's Day, is I need loyalty, gratitude, some peace, and definitely respect. Respect on the fact that, hey, I'll still take you out because I'm romantic. I just put it that way. I just feel about that. That's the way that I've been growing up. But a lot of men, you know, um, they're not getting that respect. It's not coming at them that way, and I feel bad for them.
Hey, we got one in the comments here. Drewski, welcome in, man, on the Facebook side. We appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, what's up, Drewski? Right on, Drewski.
First comment on the podcast, man. We appreciate you in here. We're just chopping it up on our takes on Valentine's Day. And you may see a little of technical difficulties on this live as we're recording. One half may be a little spotted or a little out, but it'll even out in the post later. But welcome in. So I believe you're right too. I think a lot of it is aimed at, just like Christmas and all that, Valentine's Day. But I just got to keep coming back to the point to where if that's where you're at, you know what I mean? Like, if that's where you're at and that's your stance, the dude really can't really be too mad that you know what I'm saying, that he's getting played like a booger. because because like, it's just like dating, this is just like for me, I don't believe, you know, there whoa, I don't believe there should be too much put on this day other than, just I mean, it's definitely a day to sit back and do, but like what you're saying, I get totally because the the US side of this, you know what I mean? They broke this all the way from showing love and conditioning love to just financial and yeah, he is saying it's a little choppy, but we appreciate you stopping in. It'll even out on the posts when we upload into YouTube. It'll do the Riverside real
Yeah,
quick.
sorry, Drewski, and anybody else that's listening to this and it's pretty choppy and stuff. Hopefully, we can start working some of these kinks out, but we got to try, and we'll sooner or later get it better, like we have done with our podcast. But yeah, man, I look at it in two different things. I think it's a ploy by multi-billionaires to spend more money, money that really doesn't need to be spent, to prove how much I love the person that I'm with. I also will say I'll go back into, I'm not going to name the names, but I seen this commercial where it's like, not only is he your husband or the person you're engaged to, but you need to get the diamond on the same ring that signifies he's the best friend. So now it wasn't just good enough for a woman to have one diamond ring on her finger, but she needed the two. And if you don't have the two, it almost is like a gift. Well, is he your best friend? If he was your best friend, you would have both of them. And it's just a ploy by everything else to make us spend. And I look at it and I'm like, nah, I ain't falling for okey doke. Sorry, that ain't me. And there's a lot of dudes out there like, nah, I'm not spending no money on my girl or nothing like that. And they're gonna be in the doghouse, Western minded, to say like, yo, you ain't showing your love appreciation to me today like my girlfriends are getting it.
Yeah, and see, and that's where it all comes back to again. I mean, like, if you're in the beginning stages, man, man, I gotta like my condolences because this holiday is gonna run you. But you know
It
what I mean?
go
Like,
raise.
but I mean, like, this is like, this is kind of like paying the dues. Once you're, I think that once I call it the honeymoon part of dating. Once you get past the honeymoon part, first couple, like you got to get in. You got to buy into this. But hopefully by that time you're already on the other side of this part, and it becomes more mutual. I can't sit and say that I've only experienced I've not only experienced it, like to where like I know a lot of dudes where, the like midget did a dinner for me. She did a lot of made sure I had stuff, you know what I mean? Like weird stuff because I'm not used to that. Like you don't like chocolates and teddy bears and you know what I mean? I was just like, man, that's kind of weird. But I was able to go slide her a couple roses and make it even. But it wasn't like there wasn't no how do you say it?
Make it even.
There was no like presence like I need to outdo what she did. It was just a couple nice gestures and then getting out in the community and serving. But I remember the first couple. I mean, you had to get the good roses and you had to do all that. So let's Drewski
But
just
that's
put
my question.
this
Why?
this day ain't in the Bible, I tell you that. But we're called to feed our wives' spirit as men of God and put her first below God as husband. Even Paul said it best: if you don't want these responsibilities, stay single. And that's what Drewski put in the post here.
Wow. All right, Drewski. All right. I mean,
Hey,
don't get me wrong. I totally get loving and honoring your wife. But are we honoring our wife just on one single day? Are we honoring our wife like according to the is like she is part of you, you are one flesh? Um, is it one sided where you are giving more and more and more? And there's nothing wrong with being the servant because you said, he that's great among you, be the servant among you. But let's get back to way how Western civilization has conditioned men to accept that that's the way it only supposed to be. That you are the doormat and you are supposed to serve completely all the time to them. Not a problem if these men are getting back the respect, the gratitude, the loyalty, and the peace. I can understand dudes going out of their way and doing a lot of these things, but not just one day out of the year. It should be something that's consistently happening, right? And it should go both ways. When's the last time your woman said, I really, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you have done, what you have accomplished. You know, I get what you're saying. My woman cooked for dinner and da da, da, but you was gonna eat anyway. It wasn't like you wasn't gonna cook. All
Drew's,
right. So
Drewski,
let's just get down and get real to the funk.
Drewski put, I do 364 out of the year, but I'll take this one off.
He said that one day is missing. All
That's it. He's like, this one's my free
right,
day.
Drewski, I hear you, bro. I hear you, man.
But one thing I wanted to push on is just guys, like I know there's a pressure and there's the enemy's going to be more in your ear that you're going to fail and that you didn't do enough, and God forbid the spirits on the other side telling you this, you know what I mean? But again, this day, like what Drewski said, this ain't in the Bible, you know what I mean? Like this ain't no day is, like you're being tested, and you're going to get turned away because the roses wasn't red enough, or you know what I'm saying? But make sure you show yourself some grace, because you know what I mean. Sometimes I don't know, man. $30 for a dozen of roses that are already 9 days old because they picked them too soon, and like I don't know.
Back, brother. That's what I like, And so I'm gonna tie a little bit more back into this about Valentine's Day. It isn't something that men have to prove or women should have to receive. It should be two people celebrating one another,
Right.
right? That shouldn't be just one day out of the year. But if it is this one day, celebrate that. Love is not one directional. It really isn't. Giving and they're giving back. And if a woman, expects effort, she should bring effort too. If a man expects appreciation, he should be given appreciation. This is why I go back to the Bible. It was like, hey, it's better to give than receive. Well, guess what? If you give, so shall it be given back to you. If you give good love, it should be given to you. If you give respect, it will be given back to you. If you give mercy, it will be given back to you. If you give grace, it will be given back to you. But it shouldn't be one direction. And I think that that's where we miss it, where I look at westernized, where it's a money thing. It's a money thing. And if you have a great relationship with your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, or anything, you can break that thing. I shouldn't have to just appreciate you this day, and you shouldn't have to just appreciate me this day. We should be appreciating each other throughout the whole year, and not let what the conditions of America or social media dictate what we do on this day for each other.
Yes, sir. All right, Drewski, we appreciate you dropping in, man. We appreciate the comments and the conversation, man. Have a blessed night. He's out.
Yes, Drewski, thank you for commenting in.
But yeah, man, we just wanted to jump in, and really we got the platform to go to three different uh lives at once, and we were just giving this really a quick test, and really just to jump in and chop it up with you guys for a quick minute. Well, I hope you survive the Valentine's
Listen,
storm
I,
that's gonna
I
hit
would go through
tonight.
this again. Yep, because Matthew said it too. Like, and I know it was a difficult preaching day that he had to preach this, but men deserve flowers too,
You're right.
right? And I'm not saying that it's just a physical flower. They deserve to be appreciated for what they do, the grind that they put in and out. And I agree with Drewski completely what you said. Appreciate you chiming in, brother. Um, don't When I look at these and I look at it closely, I'm like, are we serving one another? But if the
Uh,
service is only one sided, that's when we have to question some things.
we got Missy in the chat right now. She says, from a female perspective, it doesn't require spending a lot of money to show how special the day is. Something simple as a handwritten note, a walk in the park, it's the simple things that she enjoys. So, man,
That's nice.
I
And
we didn't
see, that's a great thing.
we didn't make it to the park, girl. We didn't make it to the park today.
But yo, bro, am I getting this or this if I don't get that on this day? But I gave it to you last week. I gave it to you last month. I give it to you almost every other day. Yeah, the simple things are great. I really do appreciate those things too. But being how can I say, condemned if they don't do those things on this particular day. And what I guess I wanted to really talk about on Valentine's Day. I do hope that everybody out there is really getting appreciated both ways, and that love dominates everything in your relationships, and the communication is there. But if it's not, gentlemen, really start to look really close at who you're with. Women, all the ladies out there, look really close at your man. If anything, I would say take Valentine's Day as a reflection day and be like, yo, how's this man treating me throughout the year, not just today? What's he doing for me throughout the whole year? How's he really treating me? And then put that thing and look in the mirror, and let's take some accountability to ourselves and say, am I really being only about this day or all the special holidays, which means it's Christmas and everything else and her birthday? Or am I doing something that's special to her, like consistently?
So it's kind of cool because like when we started this out, you know, Miss Missy's shown me a lot to where I'm probably one of the few guys that's kind of like this is weird because you know what I mean. It's just here's your flowers, get through. But she from a female side, what she's saying she's dead on with, and I don't have to go break the bank. You know what I mean? When we first met, we went out and we did, but like from that side, but also the what you were saying too is that guys, you got to condition yourself to know how, you know what I mean. Like if you're not getting the get back that you need, going broke and taking loans out and not paying your bills this month to make sure this day goes good, don't really satisfy love. You know what I mean? Like that's just material items, and you're just kind of funking, faking the funk, trying to make it happen. I do believe that it's the little things, and it don't take a lot. You know what I mean? And to the younger brothers, I already know y'all went out there and bought those $50 roses from Walmart, and last minute, and you got the best card that was left in the aisle, because I'm like the last minute type dudes. You know what I mean? So
The
I know.
last minute.
And I'll be
So
honest,
man, put some
if you went to Safeway to get your things, they probably got you for about $10 or $20, because they almost got me because they mislabeled things, and dudes are just in there, deep. Like the whole self checkout was just everybody trying to hurry up and go. But you know, I just as the younger brothers, man, I just wanted to touch on you guys. This is where the ego gets hurt. You know what I mean? And the enemy could slip in and tell her that you ain't nothing, and in the same breath of wind tell you that she ain't nothing. And the spirit of division could creep in this day quickly. You know what I mean? Very quickly. And you
very,
know
very quick. And I think that's where um be disciplined, pushing effort, and being consistent with it, where it's not just one day, right? So that the when the enemy comes in like a flood, God will raise a standard against him, which means that that thought will come and be like, no, my man's been consistent with this, he's done that, he's been there. He took the car to mess up. That's showing love. He turned around and washed my car. That's showing love. He fixed the toilet. Things like that. I agree with Missy where it's little things and stuff, but it's the genuine effort day in day out that needs to be recognized. And I feel that that recognition should be something that we're looking on Valentine's Day. Not what you're bringing to me today, but to just self-reflect and have that conversation with each other today and being like, I really love you and I appreciate everything about who you are, the effort and the consistency. Don't get me wrong. If there's gonna be a lot of dudes that are gonna be like, yo, man, Coach Marks, you stepping all over. You got her questioning me now because I'm only doing this 2 times or 3 times out of the year. Right?
yeah, you got to
Dude,
step your
there's a
game
lot
up.
of dudes that are doing crime 50, 60 hours a week. I'm not taking nothing away from you, brother. But this is the straight up truth. Missy and everybody else can agree with me. Relationships take effort.
Missy,
They take
Missy just
genuine effort.
she just chimed in and said, "I always show my man he's special to me and appreciated, not just one day a year. I never want him to question
Amen.
what I feel. It's a two-way street. It takes two to make a relationship, it's about holding each other up, not about money. So I mean, that just goes to show you, sometimes it's she your peace or your chaos. And it just goes back
Fact.
to
And I
the
was
other
about to
conversation.
say, bro, DJ Woody Wood, it takes two to make a thing go right.
Yeah,
It
sometimes
takes two to make it.
to make it out of sight.
That's right, brother.
But man, we just want to thank everyone who chimed in. Today we just wanted to do a quick little chime in and just touch base with y'all. It's some hey, you know what? There's probably ain't nobody watching because it's Mr. Nasty time. So you know what I mean? It's 9:30 somewhere. But to the one that ain't, and the ones that are like, F love and F this, it just ain't your season, man. Don't take it personal. It's plenty of us have been
You just
in
ain't the
this.
type one.
You know what I mean? Like, plenty of us have been in the same shoes on this day, and again, it is just a day. You know what I mean? I don't even like the number 14, so it's not even a special day. But you guys just got to show each other, show each other grace, but also know that just because it's the day of love, don't mean that the spiritual attacks aren't coming at you, and that the enemy's not out to devour, steal, and kill and destroy. Because if he could get into your guys' day today, he's going to get in the rest of the 364 days, like Drewski said. And this is not just a 1 day assignment. You know what I mean? This is a day to highlight it. But man, you like what Marcus was saying, that like if you're on your game all year, this is just another day. You know what I mean? And for me and Missy, it was like that. You know what I mean? We celebrated last night. We had a really good night out. She got me at string quartets. Man, I ain't never seen no chola at no string quartets. But that's
Man,
that's what this
those
is.
are cool.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about. You know what I mean? Opening, if you saw my post to her this morning where I said, like this, like every other holiday where you're taking the time to appreciate me and show me things that, you know what I mean, I would never do for myself. So I respect that and I
Bro.
appreciate that. So
And I have to respect that. I have to respect that all the gentlemen that are coming out of their comfort zone and doing something totally different, whether it's going to go watch those candlelight concerts, like I said, we going for a walk in the park and we listen to some jazz or some stuff like that, coming out of your comfort zone in order to show appreciation you're with. Um, I also feel I'll shout this out. You may not have that one right now that is showering you with love and appreciation and consistency. Uh, Focus in back on what God has called you to do and listen to Him and
right.
pray for that. That Lord will give you discernment on who's supposed to be in your life, and that will bring that. I'm not saying that you have to have Mr. Nice Guy because Mr. Nice Guy will bend over backwards, left and right. You want a good guy that will treat you well, treat you right, but also will be like, hey, challenge you in certain areas that growth needs to be. So, again, that you want that same type of woman in your life, and don't take it when she's challenging you to be a better person or a better man. Love will be that part that will come along with that relationship, and it's great because two grow together. But it will be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be smooth roses and candy all the time. So again, gentlemen, I like to thank everybody that chimed in. Missy, thank you for chiming in. Drewski, the same thing. I know that we'll get some more comments on this thing when we post it up and everything because we're just live, not everybody's hearing it. And I like to hear more from the gentleman. Like, you know what, Coach Marcus, you're right. I need to put a little bit more in throughout the year, right? Or I do that. I do that all the time. Great. We want to hear back from you guys.
And see, I just wanted to go out on this part too. Is maybe the problem isn't just today, Valentine's Day. Maybe the problem is the unspoken
Mm.
expectations in your relationship, or in your expectations of what you're pursuing, or what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like if you go out and spend all your money thinking that that's going to be the answer to a failing relationship, that there's already doubt and resentment. But because when expectations aren't communicated, they turn into silent resentments, and resentments ruin romance faster than forgetting flowers on this day of the 14th of February. So,
Ooh,
guys,
I like that, bro.
you got to dial it in, man, and know that, okay, if this is your assignment, right? And we're gonna go back to the Bible, because God never said date to get Mr. Nasty time on February. He says date to to represent your calling, to lead your relationship to where it needs to go. but mainly to be in assignment, because if all you're doing is chasing booty, then this is just another day for you anyway, and you're just spending money because it's all red flags on the play anyway, and going from there. Missy just chimed
I
in
like
one
that.
more time. She chimed in exactly. Never settle. Know what you deserve and go for the best, and go for the best for you. So she is right, just like what we're saying here. So, man, we just
Absolutely,
want.
completely right with that.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and close this out. You got anything else that you wanted to add in there?
You know, I like what you said right there. And if we're just dating, that isn't going to work. Dating should be something that you're dating with the intentions of marriage, like completely, always with the intentions of marriage. You are trying to figure out if this person is a life partner and not just a partner. And so, with that, I like to close this out and God, because here again, we didn't even open up with prayer, so we're gonna at least close with prayer,
Right.
right? Thank you, Father. Thank you so much. Thank you for today. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come forth again and bring forth this message. I hope it touches a lot of people's lives and we begin to actually look and take accountability for our actions of what we are doing throughout the year and staying consistently. I like to also thank the men that actually take this into account, women that take this into account and realize it's the little things. It's not the big things. It's not the explosion things one day. It's the little things with being disciplined and consistent that makes it work. And I like to thank my brother Chris right now for helping us get this particular thing moved onto this live. And I thank you so much for the assignment that we're being true to, Father God. I give you all the glory, all the honor, all the praise. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
Amen, amen. So that's it, man. We just wanted to jump in. We're gonna figure out this this fuzziness as far as I think it's just a Wi-Fi connection on one of our sides. But again, thanks for everyone who tuned in. YouTube, we appreciate you checking this out and checking it out on the later post. Once we get the uploaded one, it should even out as far as everything going. Missy on Facebook and Drewski, we appreciate you chiming in. And everybody on my page and on the CWTM podcast page, we appreciate you guys for everything as far as the likes, comments. Just make sure you guys are sharing out those clips. If something hits you and it's resonating with you, to make sure you get that to someone who else needs to hear it, because as those clips go out, remember that's just 23 seconds of an hour conversation. So make sure you guys go back to the YouTube page and to check it out. Maureen, we appreciate you coming in. Amen. We about to sign out, but we thank you for coming in. And that's on the YouTube side. So it's working, man. You know, God gave us a vision here. We're starting to reach out a little further. You know, big ups to Marcus again. You know, the podcast couldn't happen without the both of us, you know what I mean? And all three of us when we add God into the mix. So I appreciate you, everything that you do, and all the creative talent that you bring towards this, and the consistency to make it happen. So, man, salute to you, brother. I appreciate you. And
All right,
anyone
brother.
else?
Nice.
Sure
30
guys,
minutes.
yeah, 30 minutes. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Someone else is saying hi, but we signing out, brother, man. We appreciate you saying hi, but we saying bye. Until next time. Peace.
Yeah, hit the comments anyway. We'll respond to your comments and anything I can say. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We did it again.
Until next time. Peace.
Peace.